Welcome to the Business Spotlight Series. I'm Rick Plaskett, a certified business coach and leadership coach here in Columbus, Ohio. Today, my guest is Marvin Green. He is the owner of Leafy Products, a green product company that specializes in products made from bamboo. I think you're going to really enjoy his story today. I've talked with him before, and he's got some really exciting insight. So today, we're going to talk about his business, some of the challenges he's got, the best practices, and share a peek into what it's really like to build and operate a business like his. If this is the first time that you are on the channel, please hit the like and subscribe button so you can get notifications in the future. Marvin, welcome and thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me, Rick.
Hey, tell us a little bit about yourself and about this business of yours. I think you've got a really unique business. I'll see it on your shirt, and I'm sure the audience wants to hear about it.
Well, a little bit about myself. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I feel like I'm a winner. It all stems from playing basketball from when I was very little, from 5 years old all the way up into college. Never quite made it to professional, so a little bit upset with that. But I carry that on into my professional life as far as business. But yeah, basketball really taught me everything from work ethic, from persistence, from the drive you have, the passion you have to have for the game, and it translates right back into business for me. So again, I'm from Columbus, Ohio, like Rick mentioned. And yeah, it really stemmed from I'm an artist, first and foremost. So when you see the branding and things like that, um, that was kind of tapping into my passion, and just designing the product overall. My first business was a matchmaking platform for uh, hair care services for individuals with disabilities. So kind of again, a serial entrepreneur and always looking for problems and putting solutions to it. So yeah, man, I started as a caregiver cutting hair for individuals and seen a need and that it was a difficult challenge to actually take people with disabilities to a barbershop or a salon based on the different, things that they were faced with. So, I created an app. Well, to backtrack, I created a manual, way of going about it. I was cutting people myself, making sure they look good, seeing the self-efficacy, take effect within these people, and just seeing them overall just light up and just feel good about themselves. And that's kind of what inspired me to keep going and turn that into a business. Over time, we grew it into 9 state contracts, going into facilities, had a number of barbers and stylists performing these services, ended up being funded uh, f- um, by a venture capital firm to scale it into more of a digital aspect. And that's when, as things were trending up and we were excited about everything, that's when COVID hit and kind of postponed everything for us, and it was a bit of a strain for us. But again, like I mentioned before, we're winners. We're gonna figure this out. Never count us out of the game. We're gonna figure out how to come through and win it. Um, so as we just sat back and really just we're still really in those times, we just kind of you know observed the what was going on as far as the you know, uh, things going on as far as the civil unrest, COVID, um, and then just to add on top of all of that, people were losing their minds over toilet paper at this time. And we're like, what is happening with the world? So that's when we said, you know what, we're already trying to go green or doing our best at doing it. Let's tie each of these pieces into place and create our own company and really push the education of going green and sustainability to not only our everyday consumers for essential products, but also corporations that are looking to transition into ESG goals that they have to hit. So that's when Leafy came about. It was birthed, and man, and it, yeah, it took off from there.
So tell us a little bit more about Leafy. Where are you? What's the business structure? And what is the product? I don't think you've shared with the audience what the actual product is of Leafy.
Got you. So Leafy, well, structure is still a LLC. We're still fairly small. We're a small business, it's still growing. It started in 2020. But then also we sell, sustainable products from made from 100% bamboo. Even the packaging is toilet paper, paper towels, facial tissues, jumbo rolls, soon to be napkins, things like that. Again, your everyday essential products that you're already going to use. And the more that as we created it, as every business owner, you want to learn exactly what you have. So we did our research as far as the benefits of bamboo, and we started to realize this is something that everybody needed to know, the education piece, that it's a natural antibacterial property, especially for women that's putting it on the most sensitive areas of their body, us, as a whole, putting it, using this product. So we wanted to um, really push the education out there, uh, concerning what the everyday use of, I don't want to name other brands, but everyday product that, bigger brands that we're already using, don't necessarily let you know of the chemicals that are involved in these products. So that's when we step in and say, hey, but did you know this is in here? Did you know forever chemicals really affect your health? Not necessarily right now, but overall, you're going to start to see those effects. So that's when we step in and educate you a little bit, and then make, potentially transition in and make Leafy a household name of helping you through that education.
Super. So, Marvin, tell us a little more about what's the role that you currently play in the business.
The role I play is, I would say, about maybe 5 to 10 roles. I'm I am a co-founder. I am the CEO. I do a little bit of the marketing, do the branding, sales. As a startup, as a business owner, you really got to, be ingrained within the business to know the inner workings of how, when you grow or scale to the point that you want it to be, you know exactly how to hire in and where you want people to be. So that's the roles that I'm playing right now. I'm stepping in, being the janitor in the warehouse at times, cleaning up different areas. I'm doing deliveries if they're local. So I'm talking to customers and really listening to what they have to say about the product. So I'm really ingrained in it. But at the same time, I will take some time to step back and look at the overall goals again as that CEO, to see where we need to go and how we plan on getting there.
Great segue. So, my next question there is when you're switching from that working in the business with all of those different roles to putting your head up and looking to the future,
Mhm.
what percentage of your time would you give to each of those?
Wow. Again, it's kind of really listening to your customers. It's really listening to who you're selling your products to, services to. You have to really, we really listen to our reviews. We listen to customers that email in. Even though we're
Mhm.
selling a product to different businesses and customers, our main thing is customer service. So we want to listen to what you have to say, what your reviews are, what do you think about the product? And from that point, that's how we kind of segue into how much time and effort we're going to put into it. If we're getting a lot of sales, we have to scale back and say, hey, we're going to have to get our sales out here, because it goes back to that customer service aspect. People are expecting their product in a certain amount of time. They're used to Amazon. We are not quite Amazon just yet, but
Mhm.
we're definitely going to get it out to you in a fast, in a time that you're expecting it. We're going to hear what you have to say about it, and we're going to redirect our efforts to what it is the customers are talking about, and go from that point. But at the same time, we do take time, I would say, 30% to still travel, still go and develop these same relationships with our customers. Just had lunch with one of the GMs for one of our hotel spaces, just to talk, just build that rapport and see how we can possibly continue to help or help each other. So it's really just listening to everybody and just, I don't want to say going with the wind, but you really have to listen to what your people, the people that you're catered to are saying and build your strategy around that. So,
That's right. That's right. And listening, I would transition that into actually marketing, because
mhm,
marketing is listening. But once you have listened, getting your word out to the customers so that they can hear what's the benefit to them. In the
definitely.
marketing area, I'm curious, what's been successful for you?
So again, our social media is what got us started in the first place. We have, when we first started, we said, hey, we have this product. How do we get it out here in hands to at least start to, again, listen to what people have to say? Started with friends and family. It wanted to be, you know, inside, like, hey, let's just start a beta project or beta testing within our friends and family. Of course you have different minds involved. They're not going to listen. They post it and then it starts to take off. So that's where we had to like say, oh, wow, okay, now we have sales. Now we have a lot of people buying the product. Now we're listening to review. It just started to happen all at once. But then as that happened, it also, you have to go with it and not just kind of restrict and fall back. You have to listen to it and lean into it. So that's when we say, okay, since it's out here, the news reached out, hotel hospitality spaces reached out, different businesses. Again, this was the ESG initiatives that were going around. So we fell in line with exactly what they needed. And we leaned right into it. And yeah, it kind of took off from that point. But the marketing piece, the social media is when people started to share it. When they bought their product, they would repost it. So it created that user generated, content. We didn't have to take any pictures of our product. We didn't have to say anything. It was people that were buying our product, reposting it, reposting it, reposting it, sharing it. And that's what kind of brought in that frenzy of, just about everybody that was interested in our product. And today, fast forward, we still kind of utilize that same marketing aspect because now we've reached out to bigger social media pages. Just recently, in this past week, had a post that went viral, over 50,000 likes and 40,000 shares, and it's just been bringing in sales left and right. But they're reposting it, they're resharing it, so it hasn't stopped. It's still going. I'm looking at my
Mhm.
phone now, and I'm just getting notification after notification, but I would have to base our marketing on, again, listening to your customer, letting them do their thing and repost, and they'll spread the word for you. So that's kind of what that's been
Awesome.
for.
Awesome. Great. So social media is a big one that's working for you. Just off the top of your head, how many different other marketing strategies do you all use?
Well, we use email marketing as well. We use email marketing. We've had a few influencer, which goes back to the social media piece. We are in different associations from hospitality spaces, from Crohn's disease, from different things that kind of fall in line with our product, and we're getting tables. We're involved. We went to a trade show out in Las Vegas that housed janitorial products from international, so it was thousands and thousands of people. Just really being hands-on, being in front of people's faces, and then also the social media, emailing. We haven't quite gotten into the ads, paid ads just yet, but we're utilizing our word of mouth and really putting a face to the name, if you would, to about our product.
Super, super, super. Now, when you're doing this marketing, do you track the leads that you have? Do you track the effectiveness of each of these?
We do a little bit. So again, I'm learning. I'm a I'm in a serial entrepreneur, but I am learning as I go. And again, thanks to our platform of how you purchase our product, I am tracking how many people are coming in from different channels. So I am able to see that part, and that's kind of building up our analytics a little bit to see where, okay, it's coming in the majority from here. This is where we need to put our efforts as far as that. So,
Super, super. Hey, listen, we have spent a lot of time digging into the marketing and what makes your business unique. What I'd like to do now is let's look forward, fast forward, if you will, into the future. Where do you see your business in the next 3 to 5 years?
a great question. I see our business in the next 3 to 5 years. Um, I would say in the majority of hospitality spaces. Again, so we do have more than just the 12. We have the facial tissues. That's not necessarily on our website, but we are beta testing that through our hospitality spaces, and we're getting really good feedback. So I would say in the majority of our hospitality spaces across the country, um, we have subscription base online for our residential customers. I would say we plan on pushing that anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000 subscribers within the next 3 to 5 years monthly. And that
Okay.
is growing tremendously. And with those two aspects, the business, not a business sector and the e-commerce sector, um, revenue wise, we plan to be anywhere from 10 to 20 million in our revenue. So yeah, that's
Wow.
where we
Wow.
plan to do
Look,
it as we issue in different products as well. So don't think of us as just a toilet
absolutely.
paper
That's a
company.
huge growth.
Yes, yes. So yeah, we're pushing it. We're being out there. We're out again in people's faces and making Leafy a household name and really adding some pressure onto the competition.
Yeah.
Mm.
So when you're looking at that larger growth and those high, lofty future goals, what's been your approach to taking and moving, from where you are now to where
Mhm.
you want to be?
Our approach now is we have plans in place. We are partnering with our manufacturing, so that kind of cuts into our bottom line. But as we grow and as we are experiencing this continued growth, we do have plans on taking on our own manufacturing, in place and really just growing it, utilizing the same channels and efforts that we've already been doing through subscription and just shifting that over from the partnership to now we have in-house everything and transitioning into different technology spaces. Can't really go into the technology aspects of things right now, but do believe we have some innovative things in the works of how we plan on transitioning and scaling tremendous growth of our products. So it's not just paper products. We plan on utilizing that sustainability and adding that and coupling that with innovative technology as well.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome. Hey, we have certainly covered a lot of ground in our conversation today. And for those of you that are watching, I highly encourage you to save this segment and go back and watch it a few more times. I think Marvin has really shared some golden nuggets. I know he's got some ambitions to grow and grow rapidly. And if that sparks curiosity on your part, um,
Mhm.
definitely want you to watch this again and reach out to Marvin. So, as we wrap up here, I'd like to hit a section that I like to call the rapid fire questions. Just what's
Mhm.
on top of your mind. You ready for this?
Let's do it.
Super. Marvin, what's your key to success?
Say that one more time.
What is your key to success?
What is the key to my success? Again, I would always go back to just listening, 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 listening. It's overlooked. A lot of people are, they may say they're listening, but they're quick to respond. Sometimes, people are talking, but they don't necessarily need to answer. And with that listening piece, that allows you to, go in the direction that you need to go or approach that conversation. But also I like to go back to Dale Carnegie, which kind of led me to where I am today. Dale Carnegie was also in a class, of a Dale Carnegie program, but allowing, speaking in terms of other people's interests. When you're going into conversations and you're wanting to know about that other person, or you're wanting to know how they did or where they are or where they're going, instead of necessarily talking about yourself, you become a really great conversationalist, and then that allows them effortlessly to say, you know what, I've been talking about myself a lot. How can I help you? And then that's when you're able to win friends and influence people in the process. So
Awesome.
I like to really look at things like that in that aspect, and that's kind of been the key to my success as far as networking and building the network that I have.
Super. What's a piece of advice that you would give another business owner that may be in a similar situation that you're in?
Keep pushing. Keep pushing. It is not an easy journey. It is not for the weak of heart at all. You're going to have things that come against you, or not necessarily come against you, but test you, whether that's personal, whether that's business, whether it's whatever it's going to be. It's going to test you to see, are you serious about saying what you want to be? Are you really wanting to be that person? But just keep pushing through, stay prayed up with it, and yeah, as you're pushing forward with it, it'll be those intuitions that pop into your head like, oh my God, thank you, and then you'll realize, if I would have given up when I was in a certain situation or feeling down on myself, I wouldn't have realized that pushing through and knowing there was light on the other end of the tunnel. So push through, you're gonna make it, and keep doing it.
Great. What's a book that you're reading? You mentioned that you love to learn, push forward, and you love to be more than you can be. But what's something that you're reading right now?
Right now, I'm a personal development type of person. Right now it's kind of a mixture. It's a book and journal. Project 369, speaks on how the mind works, speaking it into existence. Also has sections in there where you can write down your goals, affirmations that you're saying throughout the day. I know a lot of people don't necessarily talk about it, but as I'm going, even if I'm driving down the street, the book that I read, things that I wrote down, I might even be looking over, or, reciting these affirmations in my head. And then it's amazing how these things come into existence. Just like now, the things that I'm experiencing with this social media post going viral, it may be cliche, but I wrote this down a couple weeks ago, like, and now I'm experiencing it, with that effort. What it does is, it's not just you writing things down, it's not just you reading, but it also sparks that feeling and that emotion behind it for you to put the effort. And with that effort behind it is what drives the results that you're willing to see or wanting to see. And that's kind of what the book talks about. So yeah, that's what I'm reading.
Super. If you had to choose one area of your business that we could wave a magic wand and tomorrow morning area would be improved and you wouldn't have to worry about it anymore, what would that area be?
Right now it's logistics. Logistics is a beast that I'm realizing. But again, we're learning it. Logistics is tough. It's a lot of moving parts, no pun intended, because it's all about movement. But it's definitely a lot of moving parts that you have to kind of be thrusted into it and learn from it, or listen to other people who've been through it. But that seems to be the challenge for us. But as we're going through it, we're learning, we're piecing our different ways of, cutting down that those expenses, excuse me, to build our bottom line a little bit more. So it's the logistics for us, but again, as we're pushing through that obstacle and learning from it, we're learning a lot through it, and learning how to approach it a little bit better. So
Super. Thank you. Hey, before I get to the final question today, how can people get in touch with you, Marvin, if they're watching this and want to either pick your brains about something that you've said or flat out want to buy your product?
gotcha. Well, first you can go to our website at www.getleafyproducts.com. Leafy, Leafy products, products, products.com. I know it's a tongue twister at times. But also you can visit us at the same handle on Instagram, at Get Leafy Products. You can email me directly, Marvin, Marvin, at getleafyproducts.com. I'm all for, talking to people, seeing how we can collaborate, seeing if I can offer a few things from whatever I've experienced, and potentially partnering and seeing how we can impact communities together. So, be sure to
Super.
reach out, and that's how you can reach me.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. All right, last question.
Mhm.
What's most inspiring you today, Marvin?
I kind of mentioned it earlier. My passion is really just seeking out problems. I don't necessarily just go around looking for problems, but whenever I see a problem, whether that's on the news, whether I'm encountered with it, um, I literally seek out a problem and figure out solutions to it. So sometimes that's brainstorming on my own. Sometimes I may be, sitting around watching a game and a problem pops up in my head and I just say, hey, I mention it to a friend or whoever I'm with and and just toss out a problem. A lot of people do this a lot, or toss out a solution. A lot of people have these conversations a lot, but again, to go back to different entrepreneurs, you might come up with different ideas or solutions to things, but there's also people out here that are not just having those conversations, they're also looking to execute on those different things as well. So that's really what it is with me. I look for problems and I think of different creative, innovative ways to basically create a solution to them. So just because we have Leafy going on right now, best believe I have about 10, 20, 30 other ideas that are circling around in my mind in my notebook to kind of, go back to down the line as things start to progress with Leafy. And yeah, that's what it is for me.
Super, super. Hey, Marvin, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your journey. And to you, the audience, thank you for watching today. I know I was inspired by listening to Marvin, and I'm sure his mind is moving 3 times faster than his voice, and his voice is moving 3 times faster than he wants his body to. That's what makes this whole conversation here so fabulous. Folks, listen, make it a great day. Bye for now.